Hey guys, what's up and welcome to your weekly STEM challenge. This week, you guys are going to be creating a robotic hand. So we're not quite using robots, we're not using electricity, we're doing some stuff a little old school, but this is going to give you a chance to really be creative and do your own thing. So in your kit this week, you should have received some very brief instructions, a piece of cardstock paper, and then an assortment of straws and string with this random little piece of uncooked pasta. And we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. So let me hop off of this and hop onto the document camera and let's get started. So according to the directions that you received, what's included in this kit is cardstock paper, drinking straws, a milkshake straw, and string. So your orange paper is your cardstock, you have some clear drinking straws, you'll have a colored milkshake straw, and then you'll have 5 different colored pieces of string in your kit. What you need on your own is tape, scissors, and a marker. And the marker is not really required. You can use a pencil instead if you'd like. Now, you'll notice that this little piece of spaghetti, uncooked spaghetti, is not on your materials list. That's because it was a resourceful idea that I had at the last minute, and it'll all make sense when we get there. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to clear my space. And you'll see while I'm clearing that step 1 says to draw your robotic hand by tracing your hand on cardstock paper. Cut the traced hand out, cutting it a little bigger than the actual tracing. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now with my marker. So it might look a little silly. You see I've got space for my wrist. But there's a reason why we're going to make it bigger. You'll see. So step 2 says to create the joints in your hand by marking your own finger joints on the cutout. Okay, so you know that your joints are the places that bend. So 1, 2, 3. You're going to mark those joints for each joint you have. So I'm doing that by placing my hand down. And I'm just going to draw a dot everywhere that there's a joint. Okay. And then I'm just going to kind of draw a line across. And it does not have to be perfect, guys. And then you know that they're going to bend right at the base. Fold the fingers at the lines. So let's get that done now. Step 3, cut smaller straws to the sizes shown in the photo for this step. Leave a little gap between the lines to facilitate in threading the yarn. Take the straw pieces to the hand. So you see right here in this picture, which it's kind of dark, but you have your own handout, that there are tiny pieces of straws between each of these gaps. What you want to do is you want to take a drinking straw and you want to cut it so that you're able to put a straw in each of these spaces and still leave a small gap. So here's what I did. I kind of pre-measured a piece of straw and I cut it to fit right there. And if I cut out multiple straws of the same size, they're going to all fit in those spots. So what I'm going to do is we need 3 for this hand, 3 more, 3 more, and then 2 more. I'm going to cut out the amount of straws now. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to tape all of our small individual drinking straw pieces down to our hand. Remember, it says to leave a little bit of space at each joint. So we're going to do that now. Now you can see that I have all of my straws cut and I have them taped down, and I've put my milkshake straw up here. And now it's time to see what's going on with all these colorful pieces of yarn. So thread the yarn through the straw pieces. Each finger will have its own piece of yarn. Tape each piece of yarn to the top of its finger, and you may want to knot it and tape it to the back. See the photo. Okay, so, and that's, again, here you're going to have to look closely on your own piece. Then after you do that, you want to thread all 5 pieces of yarn through this bigger straw. So basically what you're doing is giving each finger its own piece of straw. Now is when it's time to pull out this crazy random piece of spaghetti, because this is going to kind of be like your needle. Now, this is going to be something that's going to take patience. It's going to take patience. You're going to need to tie each yarn. You're going to tie your yarn to the spaghetti noodle, and we're going to thread it through. So let's do that now. So you can see I'm kind of tying like a little knot here. I'm going to thread my spaghetti through, and I'm just going to just tie it really tight up there. You don't have to keep your spaghetti this long if you don't want to, but I would suggest going through, doing a couple of these fingers first before you break off your spaghetti, because you're definitely going to want it long enough. So here we go. We're going to bypass this milkshake straw for right now. We're going to thread it through. There we go. Look, guys. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to see if you can tell, I'm just sliding the spaghetti noodle off, and I'm going to slide it back through. And now you see I have this knot here. I'm going to take a piece of tape, and I'm going to tape it to the back of this finger underneath the knot. I told you this is going to take a little bit of patience, but I promise the payoff is going to be cool. Now you can see that I knotted this around my spaghetti noodle. I'm going to take and just unknot this so I still have all of my strings separately. And you guys, you have a robotic hand. Check that out. Yeah. Now is when it's really up to you with what you want to do next. You can look at each color and separate it. You can tie that color to your own hand so that, which this is the opposite hand, you can tie that color, get someone to help you out. so that when you flex your own pinky, that the pinky of the hand flexes. I've seen some people take a piece of cardboard and create almost like a holster so that they can mount the cardboard onto their own hand, and when they, move, that these move. But the trick is to actually tie these strings onto your own fingers so that when you move your ring finger, the ring finger moves. When you move your thumb, the thumb moves. So there you go. Not quite a robot, but pretty cool, right? Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a round of applause. I'm just kidding. I'm really not kidding. I'm just corny. Okay, so great job on your robotic hand. Of course, all the fingers aren't going down all the way because I don't have them, strapped to my own finger. But do you think you could pick something up? So an empty water bottle is a great way to experiment with that. I'm probably not going to be able to do it right now because I'm just grabbing these strings. But also want you to see that what would be your wrist goes down as well. So like you could try to pick up an empty water bottle, something light. If you find that you want to improve this design, I say go for it. Tape it to a piece of cardboard and then, tape it or glue it to a piece of cardboard and cut around it, bend it. It'll make it sturdier. If you want to use a toothpick rather than a piece of spaghetti to kind of thread your needle, use as your needle, do it. This is your design. I cannot wait to see your robotic hands. Make sure that you check out this little piece right here, the safety tips and troubleshooting part on your instructions. And until we meet, happy picking up, and I will see you later. Bye.